the guy in front of you is wearing an expensive watch. It just stepped out of a new luxury car. He orders without looking at the price. From the outside, he looks rich, but statistically speaking, there is a very high chance his financial life is fragile. Not because he earns too little, but because he built his life on income instead of wealth. Tease is the mistake that traps millions of professionals permanently. T, earn, well, A, lie. Well, but they never become secure. Let me explain why. Most people believe that earning more automatically fixes money problems. Ito estin. It often makes them worse. Eri is what usually happens. Someone graduates, gets their first real job, and starts earning real money. At first, they live simply 10. What? Their salary rises from 45,000 to 60,000. Not in extreme changes. Just small upgrades, a nicer apartment. A newer caron. Better restaurants, more subscriptions, individuagi. None of these look dangerous. Collectively, they are financial quicksand. Because income rises once, but lifestyle rises forever. This is called lifestyle inflation. It feels harmless because it happens slowly. You never feel irresponsible. You just feel like your life is finally catching up. But financially, something very different is happening. Let us look at the math. At $45,000 a year, saving 10% means $4,500. At $60,000, 10% should be $6,000. But lifestyle inflation absorbs the raise. The new apartment costs $600 more per month. The new car costs $400 more. That alone is $12,000 per year. Your savings rate doesn't rise. It collapses. You earn more and keep less. You didn't move forward. You moved backward. Tease is why many high earners feel just as stressed as low earners. Because his stress comes from lack of control, not lack of income. But lifestyle inflation is only the first layer. The deeper trap is what I call payment thinking. Modern society no longer sells prices. It sells monthly payments. A car is not $35,000. It is only $499 per month. A phone is not $1,200. It is just $45 per month. Pepe will no longer ask if something is expensive. They ask if it fits into this month's budget. This completely breaks financial logic. Because monthly affordability hides total cost. A $35,000 car, financed over 6 years, becomes $41,000. You pay $6,000 just for not waiting. And while you are paying interest, the car is losing value. You are borrowing money to buy something that is shrinking. That is not building wealth. That is renting status over time. Your income becomes pre-assigned. Rent, utilities, car payment, and phone payment, credit cards. By the time your paycheck arrives, it already belongs to the past. You feel busy, but financially stationary. Tease is why many people who earn over $1 million in their lifetime never build meaningful wealth. They buy lifestyle first and ownership later. If later ever comes, because while they are upgrading comfort, they delay investing. These delay is devastating. Consider this. If a 25-year-old invests $5,000 per year at 8%, they've reached over $1 million by retirement. If they wait until 35, they barely reach half of that. Nothing changed except time. But time is the most powerful variable in finance. Most people sacrifice it for convenience. 10. There is one number where everything changes. $100,000 invested. Below this, progress feels slow and frustrating. Above this, compounding becomes visible. At 100,000, 8% growth produces 8,000 per year automatically. Money finally starts helping you. Before that, you are pushing the system. After that, the system starts pulling you. Most people never reach this point, not because they are incapable, but because they confuse earning with building. Optimize for appearance instead of leverage. Wealth is not what people see, it is what silently grows. The financially intelligent think differently. They treat raises as tools, not rewards. They buy flexibility before luxury. They reduce dependence on income before increasing lifestyle. Quietly, not emotionally. This is why some people become calm with money. While others stay permanently busy. Same economy, same salaries, and completely different outcomes. If this changed how you see money, subscribe. Not for motivation, for clarity. Most people believe the problem is discipline. They think, if I just budget better, everything will work out. But the real problem is structural. Their financial life is designed in a way that makes wealth nearly impossible. Because their entire system is built around consumption first. They are taught to ask one question: what lifestyle can I afford right now? Wealthy thinking starts with a different question: what lifestyle keeps me flexible long term? These differences sound small. It is not. One path produces comfort today and pressure tomorrow. The other produces pressure today and freedom tomorrow. Modern economies are engineered to push the first path. Everything is optimized for speed. Pay later. Upgrade instantly. Waiting feels old-fashioned, but finance rewards waiting more than anything else. The problem is that waiting has no visible status. Driving an older car does not impress anyone. Living below your income does not get applause, but it quietly builds something far more valuable than attention control. Control over time. Control over choices. Control over risk. This is why many professionals feel trapped even when their income is high. Our lifestyle is too expensive to pause. They cannot reduce work hours. They cannot take career risks. They cannot step off the treadmill. Not because they failed, but because they built a life that requires constant feeding. Income becomes a dependency, not a tool. Once this happens, every financial decision becomes defensive. They are no longer building, they are maintaining. And maintenance is expensive. This is why two people with the same salary can end up in completely different places. One uses income to buy things. The other uses income to buy distance from necessity, distance from debt, distance from stress, distance from forced work. The second person does not look exciting early on. They look ordinary. But ordinary is powerful in finance because it leaves room for compounding. Compounding is not just about investments. It is about reducing the number of financial problems you must solve. When your life is cheap relative to your income, every raise matters. When your life is expensive, no raise is enough. This is the difference between financial motion and financial progress. Motion feels like movement. Progress is actual change. Most people confuse the two. They are busy financially, but not advancing. They upgrade continuously, but never stabilize. This is why so many high earners feel tired instead of secure. They are not building a foundation. They are decorating a structure that is still unstable. Real wealth begins when your financial life becomes boring, predictable, quiet. Because silence in finance means systems are finally working, not against you, but for you. If this changed how you see money, Subscribe not for hype, for clarity. There is a moment in most people's financial lives that defines everything that follows. It usually happens quietly. TE have been working for nearly 2 decades. They have earned well, and yet nothing feels stable. This is the delayed cost of building a life on income instead of assets. Income stops the moment you stop working. Assets continue. This is the difference most people understand intellectually but ignore behaviorally. Because the income feels immediate, assets feel distant. This is why so many people postpone investing seriously. Once the expenses stabilize, bad life never sticks. Because compounding only works with time, and time cannot be replaced later. You can always earn more money. You cannot earn more years. It is that they never realize what is happening until momentum is lost. They do not fail dramatically. They drift slowly, one upgrade at a time, one delay at a time. TA attempt to compress decades of progress into a few years. Risky investments, aggressive strategies, emotional decisions. They are no longer building carefully. They are trying to escape quickly. And mathematics does not respond to urgency. It only responds to consistency. This is why the first phase of wealth building feels unrewarding. Because effort is visible but results are small. Because the results finally become visible. This shift happens around one critical point. First 100,000. Below this number, your effort matters more than your money. Above this number, your money finally starts to matter. Growth becomes noticeable. Progress becomes motivating. Not because they lack intelligence, but because their system was designed around comfort instead of accumulation. They were trained to build lifestyle first and ownership later. Ownership should come first. Quietly and patiently and inimpressibly. Because the goal is not to look rich. It is to become unbreakable. It is calm. It is the absence of pressure. It is the ability to choose. This is what income alone can never buy. If this changed how you see money, subscribe. Not for shortcuts. For clarity.